Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ashley, and on this channel we talk all things budgeting, cash stuffing, sinking funds, and savings challenges. Today we're going to do our January budget. So as always, I set it up in my bullet journal. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I pretty much do the same layout every month. It's just what I find to work for me to keep track of everything. I usually pick a couple colors and then just use that as my kind of aesthetic for the month. I don't do anything crazy. So we're gonna have these 2 pages. On the left, I always do my bills and income, and then on the right, I do kind of what I expect for my cash stuffing. And this I just use as kind of a guide for each week when I do my cash stuffing. Let me make sure y'all can see this. All right, so we're gonna get into it. I always like to start off with bills and income, and I like to go ahead and put my starting amount in our bill account. So me and my husband have a separate account that we use just for paying bills, and that way we don't accidentally overdraw on this account. Or we end up like not having the money that we need in there for our bills. So at the beginning of January, we are starting out with $3,418.32 in that account. Now over here, we're going to just go ahead and start getting into the bills. On the left-hand side, I like to write the payment date. And then I just get into the bills that are due that day. So we've got a lot of bills coming out on the first of the month. We've got our mortgage, and then all of the HOA fees that we have to pay for our condo. So I'm just going to write all those out here real quick. All right. So for mortgage, each month, our mortgage is $1,447.24. And then we have 3 different HOA fees for our condo. The big HOA fee is $56, and that is for our larger community that pays for like the pool and that kind of thing. Next up is what they call the limb payment, and this is just pretty much our cable and internet. It does go through our community at the moment, and that is $191.65. And then for our smaller condo community, that one is $245, and that pays for maintenance. It also pays for the insurance for the outside of our condo, as we do not own the outside outright just for ourselves, so it pays for that as well. Next up this month, we do have our water bill. Our water bill is taken out every other month for us. This month it is $109.42. And then our cell phone bill, so T-Mobile, and that is currently at $216.59 for me and my husband. Okay, next up, so those are all the bills that are due on the 1st for us. Next up on the 13th will be our gas bill. And that is starting to go up a little bit because it is winter time here, and we are having to turn the heat on more. So right now that is $56.73. And I'm assuming that'll go up even higher for our February bill, as this month has been getting a lot colder. Luckily, in the wintertime, our electric bill goes down because we are not using the air conditioning. And right now that is at $55.67. And that one actually isn't due until the 17th this month. Next up is going to be my car payment. Now I do pay a little bit extra on my car loan each month. That way we can pay it down. And it's also good to do that just in case you do have a month where your income's not as high. You could always skip it or pay a little bit less. So right now, actually, my bill isn't due until I believe it is like May. But I will continue to put that extra money towards there and hopefully be able to pay off my car a little bit sooner. On the 24th is our cable bill. Now that is just for all of the boxes that we get. We do have to pay for those separately. And that is $34.18. So that does come out separately because we do have a few boxes for our cable. Next up is going to be our car insurance. So this is for my car and my husband's car. Pardon me, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so car insurance comes out on the 28th, and that is $109.50. After that, on the 30th, we have my husband's motorcycle insurance because that is through a different company. And that is only $12.33 a month. And then also on the 30th is our Discover payment. This is the only credit card that we have a revolving balance on, and we pay $4.25 for that a month. That is more than our minimum payment, but we are trying to kind of get that down. So I like to pay a little bit extra each month. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the total out here. I like to do this in big letters so I can see how much our bills are as I flip back through my bullet journal throughout the year, just to kind of see how bills have changed. So this month for our bills is $3,209.31 for bills. All right, next up is going to be our income, and I do like to keep track of how much we bring in each month. I am a waitress, so my income varies drastically week to week, month to month. So it's nice to kind of go back and look and see how my income has changed. So we're going to write out for each of us what we bring in. And I also like to track how much I make each week. So I keep track of that by the Sunday. I check in with this each Sunday of the month. So right now I am writing down all these Sundays in January. Because I like to look at my income by a weekly basis. Really, it's a daily basis for me, but I look over the big picture over the week. So I have the 2nd, so I will just write down here what I made on the 1st and 2nd of January. And then this one will be the 3rd through the 9th, and so on. But I do also write down what I think I am going to bring in each month. This month, I am thinking it's been kind of slow. It's January, it's cold here. People don't go out as much. I'm thinking I'm going to be bringing in roughly about $3,000. It's likely could be less, could be more. We just never know. And then over here, I am going to write down my husband's income. Now he does have a salary position, so his pay does not change really through too much. Every now and then we'll have a 3-paycheck month, but for the most part, we know exactly what he is bringing in each month. So this month he gets paid on the 14th and the 28th. And I will write down his exact paycheck there. But I do also like to write down what I think he's going to be bringing in each month as well. All right, let's see. So his income is going to be roughly $3,180 is what we expect for him to bring home this month. Now, if he does get overtime, it could be more, but it will not be less than that. So right now it's looking like we're going to have an income of $6,180, but like I said, that will change depending on pretty much my job. So now I look at this, and my husband's income does just get automatically deposited into this account. We pretty much count on his income paying all these bills. This month it is a little bit higher than what he does plan on bringing in. But we have that buffer up here. We have more than enough in our account starting out because we are a month ahead on all of our bills. So I'm not really worried that he's only looking to bring in like $30 less than those. I won't put any of my money into the account this month. Like I said, water's every other month, so that's also why it's a little bit higher. But pretty much the way that we make it work is my husband's income is just automatically put into this account, and he pretty much pays for all our bills. And then my income, as we're going to come over here and set up for the cash stuffing, my bills pay, or my income pays for everything else. So let's go ahead and go through all of our cash stuffing envelopes. So I kind of at the moment have our cash envelopes divided up into two kinds of categories. So I've got like our expenses and then our sinking funds. So for us, the envelopes that are marked as expenses. So for us, the expense envelopes are going to be things that we spend out of on almost a weekly or at least like bi-weekly basis. So you're going to have my envelope, which is my personal spending money. My husband's envelope, which is his personal spending money. This is just kind of stuff that you know, if we go out with friends without each other, or, you know, I want to pick up something that's just for me, that's what I use this money for. The rest of our envelopes is for both of us, and we make those decisions together with those envelopes. All right, so we've got my envelope, his envelope, we've got our grocery envelope, we've got gas, we've got subscriptions. I do this in a separate envelope versus like putting this over into the bill income just because it's not as consistent. So our subscriptions all go onto our Chase credit card, which we then pay back each week with our cash on stuffings that we do. So subscriptions. Next up is gym. The gym is also kind of like subscriptions. It comes out every 2 weeks. It's not like done monthly or anything. So it's just easier for me to do it this way. Then is dining. Pet care comes out pretty frequently, so that's over here. We've got health, fun, and then just like a miscellaneous extra spending. All right, let's see, and I'm going to write out the total as well for each of these. Next up is our sinking funds. Now these are, you know, long-term goals for us. We don't spend out of them regularly. All right, so for us at the moment, we have car down payment, pardon my dogs, apparently they want to be rude right now. So car down payment, my husband is looking to get a car within this new year, so we're still going to be putting a little bit towards that. We've got car maintenance, we've got car mods. If you're new to my channel, my husband does race his car. He does autocross a lot, so got to have extra funds for that. We've got racing events. So we've got racing events for his autocross. We have running. Both me and my husband are into running, and if you are a runner, you know those things add up quickly. Electronics. At the moment, I am hopefully saving up for a laptop to just help with making of these videos, because right now everything is done on my phone, and while it's working, it's not, you know, really what I want to be doing it all on. So we've got home, clothing, we do have vacation, and Disney. And of course, gifts. We've got an envelope for our debt Snowball. This is just for, you know, extra payments towards our credit card to pay that down faster. So I like to throw money in there when I can. We've got savings, and this is pretty much just our emergency savings at the moment. Next up is retirement. I am doing a 52-week challenge for retirement for myself. My husband does have his own 401k, but I kind of want to do something as well to add to our future. We've got the $1 challenge. We have a savings challenge. We've got an envelope for YouTube. And then an envelope for taxes. So, at the beginning of each month, while I am setting up everything for the month, my so at the beginning of each month, I like to come over here and kind of do a little check-in with myself. Now, as a server, my income varies drastically, say, in January versus like July and August when it's summertime and people are going out and doing things. In the winter, people tend to hibernate indoors and they don't go out as much. So my income drastically changes from month to month, just based on, you know, I do live in a resort style town. So in the summertime, we're crazy busy all the time. I make lots of money. Wintertime, not so much. It's just all the locals, and while I still make pretty good money, it varies a lot. So I like to check in each month, kind of figure out based on previous years what I think I'll be bringing in. And then I like to go through and just kind of make myself a little, like a cheat sheet in a way for my weekly cash stuffings. So for January, I'm kind of guessing that I'll be bringing in around $600 a week. Now, there definitely will be weeks that I won't bring in 600, and there could be weeks that I bring in more. But I'm kind of using 600 as my basis for the month of January. So I'm going to go through and figure out what I want to stuff for each category. Now, there are some that are the same no matter the month. So me and my husband always give ourselves $25 a week for spending money. Our grocery budget is always $150, and gas is always $50. That's just what works for us. We don't tend to always spend the $50 in gas, so anything extra that is in gas at the end of the month, we will move into car maintenance. It's just something we kind of figured it works for us. Subscriptions, now I've gone through and added up all of our yearly subscriptions. And so each week I should be putting about $15 into subscriptions to cover everything for the year. Gym, now my husband's gym membership is every 2 weeks. It's $19 every 2 weeks. So each week I put in $10, and the leftover money that will build up in there will be used for his yearly fees. Now, dining is kind of something that changes all the time. So right now I know January is not going to be busy, and honestly we probably won't go out too much. But I am going to give us $40 for dining. That can be fast food, that can be going to a restaurant, you know, whatever we want to dine out and we don't want to cook at home. So $40 for that. Pet care. I'm still playing around with this number, but right now we're doing about $30 for pet care, and that pays for their foods, their treats, their supplements, everything that they might need. Next up is health. Now this is supplements and stuff for me and my husband. Usually I like to put about $30 in there, but for the month of January, we're just going to do $20. We have a lot of stuff that we got good deals on still from Black Friday, and we still have a good amount in that envelope. So I'm just going to lower it a little bit because I know my income will be lower, and it's just one of the ones that's just going to have to take a little bit of a hit. Fun will also be taking a hit this month, and we're just going to be doing $10 for fun. And miscellaneous, we're going to put $5 in miscellaneous, but that's also another fund that if I didn't make a lot of money, will not get anything. So this all adds up to $380. All right, so next up is sinking funds. What I like to do is kind of go through and figure out what sinking funds are most important to me. What do I want to put the most money towards? Now, because I know I'm probably going to be bringing in about $600, and we have already put $380 into expenses, that's looking about $220 for sinking funds. Now, I've already gone through and kind of figured this out, but I'm going to show you kind of where my thought process goes. So usually I come down to debt snowball. Debt snowball is one of those things that I do like to prioritize, but like I said, it's a slow month. Usually I like to do $50 a week, but I think this month we're just going to do $40. The next most important thing to me right now is going to be my top 3 sinking funds. So my husband's car down payment, we're going to be doing $25 towards that. And then also vacation and Disney. So we do have vacation to see family this year, and then I am taking my mom to Disney next January. So those are just 3 things. Those are our big top 3 things that are happening this year. And so those are always going to be the ones that get the most money for me. These are the ones that we are focusing on. So usually I try and put 50 or like a little bit bigger number into these, but again, January is going to be slow for me. So we're just going to go with 25. And so after doing all that, then I just kind of go and say, okay, well, what's the least important to me? So for me, things like home is kind of like home decor and stuff, little upgrades that we might want to do. Same with clothing. Clothing is not a big thing, so we're just going to do $5 towards those. Another thing that's not like big on the priority list right now, honestly, is the electronics. So we're just going to do $5 for that. So those are kind of my low priority things. Low priority things, especially on the slower months, I want to put a little bit there. So we're going to go with $5 this month. And then I just kind of go through. Car maintenance, I always want to put at least $20 in there because in my state, we do have to pay taxes on our vehicles, and I don't like when those taxes sneak up on me. So $20 always goes into car maintenance. My husband's car mods and racing events will be getting $10. This month, I do want to be putting a little bit towards those for him, but again, it's not a high priority at this moment. Running will always get $20. I just figured $10 for each of us to put towards shoes, races, whatever we need. Gifts this month is only going to get $10. You know, Christmas just ended. I do have some money in gifts, and the only thing I really have going on, my mom's birthday is in January, but after that, like, there's not a lot of things I gotta do gifts for at the beginning of the year. So we're just gonna do $10. Savings, or like our emergency fund, we do have $1,000 already in there. So again, it's not a high priority for me to put a lot of money in it at this point in time, but we're gonna do $10 there. My retirement savings challenge is a 52-week challenge. So that will change each week, but for January, I'm looking to put about $5 to $10 in there a week. Now, $1 savings challenge, that will change weekly based on if I get the $1 with the A on it. And this savings challenge has to do with my credit card points. So that will be done once a month at the beginning of the month when I get those credit card points done. So that's not something I have to budget for at the moment. And YouTube and taxes. Those will just be things right now that if I have the extra money, I'll put towards them. But again, not a priority in this moment. That may change for taxes at the end of January, because as a server, sometimes I owe at the end of the year too. All right, but with all of that, that equals the $220. So altogether, that is $600, and that is just kind of where my income's looking for this month. So that's going to be it for today. That is how I set up my budget. And this is just my, monthly overview, how I like to go back and look, make sure that I have everything for my bills. I make sure I have everything set up in auto pay. I track my income for future use, and just, because we like to know how much we bring in each month. And then I have this, and this one I will pretty much look at each week while I am figuring out where I want to put my expenses, or where I want to put all my money that I earn, and what this helps me stay focused pretty much for the month of January. All right, well, that is it. If y'all have any questions, please leave them down below. I tried to explain my thought process as much as I can, but obviously we all don't think the same way. So if you have any questions about anything, please leave it down below. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.